Okay, so today is May 4th, 5 4. Again, is the popular saying, May the Force be with you. And lately I've been busy, and at the same time, I think they ramp up to try to either stop me from doing anything throughout the day or just plainly want to kill me, like have a car run me over almost. Like, for example, yesterday, there was a van stop in the middle of the street waiting for me to cross. Once I stepped out on the road to cross, and then she drove her car like right through me, like in front of me. So that's one of the example, like throughout the whole day yesterday, like at least maybe 2 cars like try to run me over, and like people like cut in front of me with their strollers or with their like luggage, wheel type thing dragging on, and just try to like maybe hit me, but like they barely like miss me. So I believe like every time I think there's a big shift, finally I've realized that, or I've been thinking about it since last night. And I think it's every single time when there's a big shift, they like ramp up, and their plans to either try literally kill me or like stop me from just walking like one step forward, like literally, like I was walking down the streets, right? And then people cutting me in front of me, cutting me over. Or like, last night I was like going home and try to take the train home, and then the train wasn't moving at all for at least like 10-15 minutes. And then it ended up like the train wasn't working and I needed to go to another train. So that's an example of they try to stop me from going anywhere or trying to kill me. So that's that. And I will make a video about the books of Enoch and the sun, moon, and the signs in heavens. Hopefully next week, if we're still here. Hopefully today is the rapture or tomorrow. So I watch today and tomorrow because today is the Passover day, the 14th of the second Passover, into tomorrow, Friday. And then tomorrow is the last day of spring, and Saturday, May 6th, is the beginning of summer, first day of summer. So that's why today and tomorrow is so critical, because we are at the very end of the springtime, which is summer is 9. And let's see. So I want to thank you, one of my viewers. She told me that yesterday somebody tried to assassin Putin. And so yesterday is Wednesday, and then I think Tuesday I've heard of it too, about the Buckingham Palace. There was an explosion, something like that. So it's just all the dramas and all the distractions to ramp up the point of they really start the World War III, and it will be short-lived World War, because they will introduce Antichrist. That's their plan to ramp up everything at the highest point and explode, and then that's so-called their own savior from Satan. Satan representative is the Antichrist, and then the spirit of Satan inside of this person or this being, not persons. So expect something to happen. If not later today, then we'll start tomorrow because it's last day of spring, and then it's 5/5. So 5/5 is a very critical number for them as well, and it's also represent SS, Satan, right? And at the same time, I read decoding of the number 5/5 because there are 5 wounds on Jesus' body, right? The legs, hands, and then the head, right? So 5 wounds. So 5/5. They double it because they are living in the duality world, and they also inverted themselves, right? So one is positive, one is negative, or one is up and one is down. So it's 5/5, and so it's the last day of spring. And then so later today into tomorrow we'll have something happen dramatic, and then of course May 6th. So hopefully we'll be gone by tomorrow. Exhausted because yesterday was particularly like an eventful day, like interesting. It's like I literally needed to drums through hoops and fire and etc. And so they ramping up, and then I just want to briefly talk about the moon phases. So when the ancient people, the way they present in like written form or verbally, the way they speak is very different than us. And the writing style, the style, and the words that they used were very different because sickness continuously change our languages and the way we speak and the way we express things or ourselves. So a lot of words right now we're using are new or change the real meanings behind the words. So like there are so many words, like the meanings right now is not the same as the meaning as in ancient times. The style of writing and the style of expressing and conducting information, again, very different. At the same time, the languages back then, Enoch wasn't using English, of course. He was using the ancient language. And then the Bible was expressed in ancient Hebrew, several languages, ancient Hebrew, ancient, I think is the Egyptian language, and the Assyrian language and etc. Their languages in the Middle East ancient times, not right now, not the So when the translators translate the books of Enoch and Bible, they use their own expression and use their own understanding to translate. They might not be using the expression of the ancient times or using the way of thinking of the ancient time to read and translate. So, lost in translation, that's why. So, like for example, when you read the books of Enoch, it's the same format as the Bible. So, one point by point. So within one point is related to that subject, and then the second point is related to another subject, but it's related to each other, each point, right? Each point is related to the next point. So that's why when you read the text, you cannot just pick and choose like this point mean this, then you thought that is the correct answer. So, but you need to read the whole chapter because it's point by point related to each other, setting up the whole foundation and the understanding, then you get the whole picture of it. So, for example, like the one point saying the moon will be full on the 14th day, right? Then the second point saying the 15th day will still be full, and then we'll start waiting. The first day of waiting is less one of the 15 parts of the light. The second day of waiting will last 2 of the 15 parts of the light, etc. So it doesn't mean that the first day of the month is a waiting, right? So it says that the first day of waiting day, which means the 16th day of the month, is the first day of the waiting of the moon. So it will last 1 part of the 15 part of the light, because the moon is divided by 15 parts of the lights. So when it's full, it's exactly 14 and 15 parts. No, exactly 15, yeah. So that's, the same as right now. So today is the 14th day and tomorrow is the 15th day. So both days are full moon days, right? Then the 16th of the month, which is this coming Saturday, what's that called? Into the 17th, right? So the first half of the day, say, according to Israel time, let's see. So it's the first day of waiting day, and then one part of the 15 parts of the lights. So the 16th day not necessarily means the first day of the month. It's just the first day of the waiting of the moon. You know what I'm saying? So it's not confusing when you read through the whole chapter about everything. Then you can summarize the flow of the whole story, how it flow, and the language, how it presents the idea, the information. So when he, I think it's Angel Uriel, when he say the whole process of full moon is 14 and then 15, and then starting the first day, the next day is the first day of the waiting day, the waiting of the moon day, which is the 16th of the month, right? And then he explained the whole process till the 30th of the month is 0 night, 0% of the light of the moon. And then, the first day is increase one of the 15 parts of the light, which is the new moon, and which is the first day of the month. So you need to read through the whole text and see the style he presents the ideas. Then you understand what he's talking about when he say first day. The first day, not necessarily the first day of the month. Sometimes he say the first day of the waning of the moon. He would say waning, the first day is one less part of the 15 part of the light. So he would not explain everything, but he will just what's that called? He will kind of briefly summarize the words. He will not explain in details the 16th day is the first day of the waning of the moon. He's not going to say that. He's say the next day is the first day of the waning of the moon after the 15th day. So he will not spell it all out. You need to use your discernment to read through the whole text and understand the style he presents everything. Then you know what it is mean when he say first day. Sometimes he say the first day of the waning of the moon. Sometimes he say first day of the month, but he won't say first day of the month. He will say the first day, period. But no waning of the moon in front of the first day or after the first day. So if he only say first day, then it's the first day of the month. If he only say 14th day, then it's the 14th day of the month. If that's a description of that day, waning of the moon, then you know it's the 16th day of the month. And then when he says 0, right, then he say first day increase one part of the light is called new moon. That means it's the first day of the month. So that's briefly I want to explain the style he present everything. He will not spell it all out describing something in details, but he will say it just give you enough hints for you will be understand if you pay attention to the whole story first and see the style he expressing something. Because a lot of it's the same as some right now too. Some people they spell it all out A B C D E, spell the words SATURADY. But some people they don't spell it all out. They just say Saturday. And some people say Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the person that I don't spell things all out. I usually hinting. I give you enough information and hinting the things I want to express, the whole picture of it. So I maybe because of that I understand the difference between the way people talk and write and expressing things in the ancient times than now. And in the style too, some people, the style is different. And, from the heavens, God, Jesus, the angels, and the disciples, they don't spell it all out. They usually hinting, they usually need you to pay attention to the whole story that they're talking about. They want you to like analyze it. That's why they don't like explain in details, like say, okay, on the first day the moon is the first part of the light of the 15 parts of the light, because the moon had God divided the moons into 15 parts of the light. It's not like that. That's no way. They don't talk like that. Okay, so as the Bible, right, you need to like really pay attention word by word and read the whole chapter, get the whole picture of it. Then you start analyzing everything and mapping it all out. That's the way to understand the ancient texts. Okay, so I hope I will see you guys in the clouds either today or tomorrow.
Now, one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the earth. There's no place to go.